a lobby organization, but the only thing we are lobbying for is for our government officials to stand up and obey the Constitution, both the state and federal Constitution. We're not asking for anything else other than that. Okay? Now, we're all here today because of people who, as Cliff told you, back in 1773, had the courage and fortitude to stand up to an unjust government at the Boston Tea Party. And after all the fighting was done, our founding fathers came up with the Constitution. But first they came up with a Declaration of Independence from that tyrannical government. And you can't have the Constitution and you can't understand it unless you read the Declaration of Independence along with it. And this is what is the most important part, and I'm sure you're all familiar with it. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that to secure these rights, governments are instituted among men, deriving their just powers from the consent of the governed. Now, that's key. Do we have just powers today?
No, not at all.
Exactly. Did they have just powers in 1773 being implemented by the government they were under? No. Okay? They stood up and they took action and did something about it. Now, I'm not here telling you all that we have to have a second Revolutionary War. But what I am saying is, you have to remember that key phrase, that the government is instituted to protect our unalienable rights, and they have just powers to do that, but they get their just powers from the consent of the governed, of you and me. If they are not acting in a just fashion, it is up to those who are governed and give them consent to act at all, to stop them from acting unjustly. And whether that's standing up at a roadside and holding up your signs and telling them so to their face, or whether it's taking action in court, whatever it is, we, the people, need to stand up each and every day, in each and every way, and tell them they are acting unjustly and that they need to stop. We, the people of Connecticut Incorporated, has done that by our suit against the governor because he acted unjustly by executive order ordering the unionization of child care workers and personal care attendants. Now, whether you think unionization is a good idea or a bad idea is immaterial. He did not have the authority under our Connecticut Constitution to implement a law by executive fiat. Making laws is up to the legislature. He overstepped his authority, and that is why we sued him. We filed a writ of mandamus and an injunction. And after we did that, the Yankee Institute joined in and filed another suit similar. They went farther in that in the issue of whether the statutes were applied correctly or not in the unionization. But those two suits now will be joined together. The court has decided that they are so similar in nature that they will be joined together. And we have a pretrial hearing in the next week or so, at which time a scheduling order will be taking place, and we will proceed. And it is my fervent hope that along the way, one of two things will happen. The governor will admit his mistake and declare the executive order null and void, and we'll go back to just abiding by the Constitution. Or he won't, and we'll get him on the stand and demand to know why he's not obeying the Constitution. Either way, I think it's going to be a fun event. So, anyway, thank you very much for your